What is good, Horror Horde? This is your boy Horror Gamer, back with another video for you. And on tonight's video we have another Creepypasta Theater. And in tonight's episode of Creepypasta Theater we explore the terrifying creepypasta known as Seven Gates of Hell. Some say on Halloween night if you go past 7 black gates you will see the 7 gates of hell. I thought it was a myth at first, until I tried it out. I went past 7 black gates around my neighborhood. Then, when I went to sleep, my dreams were in a furious fire. Then it stopped. There was a man, tall and bulky. His eyes were rather squinted, which shows he's old. His legs and hands were thin and looked like he can barely support his weight. He spoke. He spoke with a scratchy and dying tone. He said, Imiklu at het nevs sataj fole. He chuckled and opened the gate. My whole body became numb, moving on its own. Could not fight it. Struggling did not work. I gave up trying to fight and struggle. Without control, I went past the first gate. Gate number 1, I saw fire showing the corpses that were horribly mutilated, desecrated, and burnt. They were sobbing so loudly that I could hear the crackles of the fire. One came to me with one eye and bullet holes all over him. He said, "We are the desecrated corpses who did not get a proper burial. We are to stay here till the judgment day." I went past him and to the second gate. It was a building. Gate number 2. I was in a dungeon. There were people tied up, screaming in pain. One was sawed in half very slowly, and his body kept healing, ready to be sawed again. One was in the Iron Maiden, with the doors being closed and open, and the body looked as normal as ever. A man in an executioner mask said to me, "We are the tortured by our own devices." I went past him to the exit. I walked to the third gate, gate number 3. This time, I was in a forest. This time, it was silent except for a few yells. There was a man hanging from a noose. Another one fell off a cliff, reappeared and fell off again. I was running. Away from what I saw was a horribly burnt woman chasing after me. I already knew what this one was. These were the people who committed suicide. I ran into the 4th gate. It was in a palace. Gate number 4. I was in there. I saw emperors, politicians, and really wealthy people. An emperor was being gnawed on by lions. When the lion ripped off a limb or slashed him, the part grew back. A politician was being beaten by what looked like shadows in prisoners' clothes. A man in a suit came to me and said, "We are the corrupted people, the people who use our powers to help ourselves, not the people." I walked to the next gate, the 5th gate, gate 5. I was in another room. There was a man tied up on a bed lashed by floating spiky leather strips. A woman was being burnt by a lighter, but her screams and cries were muffled by a cloth that was used as a gag. A rather large man came up to me and said, "We are the rapists and the sex offenders, paying for our crimes on earth." I ran to the 6th gate, gate number 6. I was in a room again. I saw a man and a woman being stabbed, their wounds healing almost immediately. Another person was being burned alive, and another being hit and jabbed with a floating metal bar. I knew who these were. These were the people who are murderers, being harmed the way that they killed their victims. The exit was the 7th gate, the final one. This nightmare is almost over. It's almost over, I said to myself. Gate number 7. I was outside. There was a man wearing a shroud over his head, coated with explosives. He blew up, regenerated, and blew up again. Another one was being beaten, stabbed by sharp metal objects, and burned by torches, lighters, and matches. They were held by people who looked like shadows. One of them came to me and said, "They are the mass murderers, the terrorists, and suicide bombers. I am a shadow of one of his victims, beating him and taking revenge for killing us on Earth." I ran to the exit. When I woke up in the morning, I became horribly scared. The images of what I ran through in my head. In fact, that was all I was thinking about for the whole year. It became Halloween again. I didn't dare to go outside at night. I just went to bed. It took me a while to sleep. When I did, I was in front of the first gate of hell. There was a teenager like me. He was staring at me. He was shocked to see me. My body then became numb. I could not control myself again. I said to him in a scratchy, dying tone, "Emklu ad et nevs satag va el." I chuckled and opened the gate for him. After he went inside with an expression that looked like he was fighting something and struggling, I looked at myself on a goblet filled with what looked like blood. I saw the gatekeeper. I became the gatekeeper. In fact, I am the gatekeeper. Well, Horror Horde, if you find yourself out on Halloween night and you come across 7 black gates, unless you want to take the trip through the 7 gates of hell, I strongly suggest just turning the other way. And with all that being said, Horror Horde, this is your boy Horror Gamer saying, until next time, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it.